1.
Hi!
Damn, don't blow the speaker out. It is loud in here.
Can you edit?
I can be louder than that.
I can, but I don't want to like mess with my. Ah!
Alright, so I'll get situated and chop off.
I don't want to chop off. Wait.
What?
Don't do that. That's just mean.
That's cruel. Anyway, so we haven't released one of these things in like 2 months?
Seriously, it's been since like the beginning of summer break.
Yeah, well,
It was right after we moved
It
in.
has the time during summer break, especially for us.
Yeah, I know, right? He's got a full-time job, and we have more than a full-time job, and we don't get paid for it.
It's just class.
Class.
Summer school.
Anyway, before we
No
get
holidays.
before we get too far into this, we should probably introduce ourselves as per usual.
Why? They already know me, because I'm amazing.
We gotta do it just in case there's any new people.
New people? We don't get any new people.
Just
From
in
the
case
left
there's new
to the
people.
right.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, I'm Wizard.
Gail.
And I'm Tej.
What kind of name is Tej?
We're always bringing new people onto this show. What the heck? Why do we do this? Okay,
We
so
like new people.
here's our summer. Here's our summer. My summer is full of being in the woods
Yay.
and basically like marking down a bunch of wood.
It's
He
what we
likes
call
wood.
summer. It's what we like.
It's summer camp. Summer camp.
Yeah, summer camp is awesome, right? Where you do competitions, teamwork, go out, do things in the woods. Well, yeah, that's what we do. But imagine doing this in hell. Mississippi, thorny, briary,
Tick
hell.
infested.
Infested.
Tick infested, 110 degree, humid, 90% humidity.
But tick infested crotches. We'll get into that later.
Oh, ticks. How we do love you so.
Seriously, we can't run up.
Earlier,
I'm gonna keep this PC for
earlier,
this.
I felt something crawling inside my pants, like up here. So I pulled down my pants. He's like, usually they're just on your lower leg. Sure enough, there was one of the small ticks way up here on my thigh.
Oh, little sea ticks.
They get everywhere.
Yeah, except when they get in your shoes.
Oh yeah, there was a few inside my socks, on the outside of my socks too.
We went out. Okay, so we had this final project, right? We've been measuring timber basically all summer. We've been going out to these places in the woods, measuring
how big
trees,
nature's
coming
wood
back.
is.
Yeah, pretty much. And coming back, doing calculations, etc. We do this all the time. Well, we got this final project, and it's our final stand, and we have to basically do the same thing we already done, except for better.
Past how many semesters? All right. The reason why we're doing all this is so that you, people out there, can have toilet paper. Yes, toilet paper. We measure every tree, or almost every tree in the woods, just to see how much toilet paper you can get out of a tree. Now, exactly how much that is, I'm not exactly sure, because that's what pi circumference, and you got that little hole in the middle. But you can get
A lot of toilet paper.
a lot. Yes. And splinter free.
We assure you, money back guarantee.
We don't have any money, sorry, we can't do that.
Well, they're not paying us either.
That's true. We won't speak for any of the other companies.
Your company?
I hope somebody pays for some. Yeah, I have my own company. Anyway.
Not you.
So anyway, we do that, and then we go out in this crazy, hot, muggy, nasty, tick-infested woods, measure trees.
Just so you can have toilet paper. I hope you're happy.
We support the pulp industry very, very, very well.
But take into consider all environmental concerns. Yeah, we're tree huggers, basically.
Yeah, we have. We're tree huggers. I mean, literally, we have to wrap tapes around
Okay.
trees.
You walk into a tree, you take your tape, and you go, wow, that's a huge pinus.
See, I told you that he likes measuring wood.
I've seen some very large pinus out there.
Mississippi has the biggest pinus in the world. I think, although I'd have to get stats on that. don't want to have to go out there.
We have some pretty large pines out there.
Okay, enough about the wood jokes. And then we're going to go through all of the wood jokes because, well, trees give you wood. Trees give you wood too because, well, that's what trees do and that's why they're doing it.
Just think of the big, long, big
Anyway, continue. Okay, so we're doing this. We went out.
It's like, how many logs you got?
Right.
I've got a big log.
Anyway,
I'll go get some coffee
We went-
real quick.
okay. We went out today to look at this this patch of woods that we're gonna measure.
Where? Tell us where it's at.
Okay, fine.
Tombigbee National Forest, Winston County, Mississippi. About.
Should I give them the legal description?
Why not? That's what we do.
Township, blah blah blah, range, blah blah blah. Anyway, but anyway, we're gonna go measure this thing and try to keep a sampling error down below 15%, hopefully.
Now you have to explain what a sampling error is.
I'm
Stop
sure.
introducing new stuff.
Math. Okay. Just know that the variation in the trees has to stay as low as possible. We have to measure as many trees as possible so that our sample doesn't get all like weird.
Basically is you come up with a number and you try and make the best lie believable possible about that number. It's what attributed to Mark Twain said there are 3 kinds of lies. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. You can make any number mean anything you want it to as long as you can make it believable and bullshit about it. But this is not what we're out there doing.
And
We're-
82% stats are made up on the spot.
Yeah, they are. To go, wait a minute. Okay, this looks good. Yeah, also it's called Excel. Run everything through Excel. So anyway, once I got off on that Excel tangent, completely forgot what I was talking about.
Anyway, we sit there.
Come on, man.
We go out. Well, for the last couple of days, we've been for the last few weeks. We'll go up. We get to class at 8 o'clock or before 8 o'clock. You walk in at 8:01. You're absolutely you don't get anything for the day.
You miss 3 days,
You fail.
you fail. You're late 3 days, you fail. It's like the real world. You show up late for your job 3 days, you're probably fired. And don't show up drunk, especially during the summer.
And when you have to go out in the field and work.
And puke a couple times, which
That's
everybody needs to do. But still, it's not a good idea.
Or show up like completely tired. I felt drunk Friday when I walked into that computer lab
I did not.
because I got so dehydrated the day before.
Oh, yeah, see, okay. The way, scientific tangent here again, the way sweat works is by the evaporation, loses the energy, therefore it takes the heat away from your skin. Well, that has to deal with 1, temperature, and 2, relative humidity. Well, here in Mississippi, the relative humidity being what,
90.
freaking high, sweat doesn't work. All it does is just makes it wet and smell. But, a little bit of forest information for y'all. Typically, the humidity inside of the forest is about 10 to 20% more, probably in the middle of summer, anytime near noon. So, yeah, no breeze. So you're basically crap out of luck. It's hot.
Yeah. And we don't get paid. We go there, okay, 8 o'clock in the morning until whenever.
We do get paid.
Pretty great.
We get paid, yeah, maybe past the class.
Maybe.
So, not even going to talk about grades for one. Don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't work out.
Cups are full. Alright. I was gonna set it off the table.
Alright, that's fine.
But anyway, yeah, we're forestry people. We talk about measured wood, do all kinds of stuff.
Because we like hunting, fishing, and being out in the woods. We don't like math. We don't want to work around people, which, guess what? Get into forestry, that's what you're going to do.
You
Work
know,
with
math,
math
work with
and
people.
people.
Yes. You want to walk around the woods all day? Fine. You're going to have to sit in front for every day you spend in the woods. You're probably going to have to spend 2 or 3 days on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about them ticks?
How many?
Nathan's got
How many?
plenty of ticks.
How many?
Haha!
Let's just make a tick count. Only stuck. Only stuck.
I don't keep track. I've lost count. I just don't anymore.
Me too. I've lost count.
They're there.
I've seriously considered like getting like the tick collars
And the best
and just putting them.
best spot for tick collar is probably going to be in the inside of your cuffs. Don't put it on bare skin. Continuing.
I've already put. Oh, you're just deleting it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were gonna go get sugar and creamer. I'm like, I already put that in.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So we're out there until what 5 o'clock usually, somewhere around 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock is the expected checkout time of teachers. Of course,
Yeah.
if you want to go out and enjoy some more, you can. You're on your own, which pretty much on your own anyway.
Yeah.
Not exactly the safest thing in the world.
No, it's not. And we were out there. I know we had a class that he's already passed. So, but I was out there. We were measuring. We were coring trees and measuring soil stuff. And a thunderstorm rolled up. And of course, we have Dr. Roberts out there with us. Thunderstorm rolls up. We're looking at it on our phones, going, "Okay, this shit's purple." And purple on radar, it means like get the inside now. There were limbs falling. Like there were limbs falling off the trees and like all around us.
If any of y'all think y'all have bad classes, these guys have to wear safety helmets
We have hard
to
hats.
class.
To class. We
Let me
wear
see.
our hard hat
And they
class.
actually come in handy.
Yeah.
They actually need them.
What are some of the dangers? Some of the typical dangers that we have to deal with in this class?
Tools.
Tools, chainsaws, yeah.
Yeah.
We can
Tools.
take off legs
Well,
and fingers.
and also augers. I've been hit in the head so many times with those augers.
We don't have to deal with chainsaws in this class, luckily. But augers, how'd you get hit in the head with an auger?
Somebody was walking and wasn't paying attention to the end of it. I'm glad I had my hard hat.
Okay, well, let's say this. Tools, the environment.
The environment wants to kill you.
The local population, depending on where you're at.
That's true.
This is Mississippi, getting shot at, taking a stride. But let's see this. You got wild animals. Okay. Bears, lions, tigers. Okay, maybe not lions.
Lions
maybe
and
not
tigers and bears, am I?
Hey, the Tin Man was a forester.
Hey, that's right. Coyotes, bobcats.
If you get attacked by
deer.
Deer will tear you to
Wild
deer.
boar. Wild boar would tear you to shreds too.
If a deer would actually attack you, though, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it will.
I've been looking for wild pigs. That's
I want to
different
shoot me
tangent.
some wild pigs.
Okay, that's a different tangent. Now, back to what we're talking about, wild animals. Okay, you have beyond this, the cute furry kind. You have snakes. You have spiders. You have ticks.
It's this filthy bloodsuckers.
And most people.
If the story's correct, somebody last year when they went through summer camp came down with Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Oh, it's true.
Is it?
Oh, it's real. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, he was sick, man. He had these little spots all over, but we're covered in spots too. But not running fever. Yeah, that was a bad deal. Which that guy brings me also to insects, wasps, hornets, which
We
will
got-
jack you up.
CJ got popped by 2 hornets
Wow, when? Where?
during the soils. We were in fact the day Izell came out and lectured us about the lowland.
Are you sure it wasn't yellow jackets?
No.
Are you sure it wasn't red wasp?
No,
It was hornets, you sure?
hornets. Hornets.
What color were they?
I don't know, but he got popped by hornets. That's what I heard everybody else saying. Hornets. I saw him get popped, but I didn't see the insect itself. He was like, ah.
Yeah, it hurts.
Is that like something in a file that?
that he put on the thing and made it feel a little bit better. I don't know. I don't want to know if Ezel carries some vials into the woods.
Dr. Ezel is our department head. He's also a chemicals expert and knowledgeable about soils and all things hardwood.
Oh, the hardwood juice.
Yeah, we'll be
Maybe
back.
not all things hardwood.
We'll be making those.
This is orientation.
Well, hardwood, softwood, which bring it back to dangerous things, trees falling on you, which happens at random and has already happened to one of our students. Stump. Imagine that. It had to be a small, like dead plant or something.
It had to be,
He's still
yeah.
walking. It's not like having a huge pecan tree come down and almost try and crush you. Yeah, that was fun. That's another story for another.
Fortunately, we
show.
did not have any trees attack us today.
No.
Just to.
But anyway, we went out. We were looking at this piece of property.
Did I mention snakes?
Yeah. In the
Raccoons.
raccoons. Yeah. We were looking at this property
Squirrels,
in
looking
the
bastards.
forest.
Just
And,
nuts.
basically, we were just trying to figure out how we were going to go through it and measure it because there's different methods you can use. So we were just looking at it. Anyway, we dragged him along because he doesn't understand.
Because I don't understand.
We were gonna try to get him to walk through the stand I went to last
He
time.
is
which
not
is-
familiar with our operations and procedures. I'm sure he understands how much what we're doing.
I understand that it's crap. I understand everything you've told me. I just haven't experienced it.
Basal area. Yeah. Trees per acre. How many trees do you have on your property? How big are they? How big around are they? How much wood can you get off this when you bring it back to the
Oh no, I've got a lot of wood. Wooding's pretty thick too.
And you may have some really big trees, but are they good form? Are they just oversized pulpwood trees? Or are you gonna actually get saw logs out?
A log, for your information, is 16 foot. That's a typical log.
Do you want to explain chains and all that to the
Chains. Oh, the archaic measurement that is chain. Oh, I was gonna show you
Pull up
this.
the internet on your phone, just like these measurements, right?
Check this out. I got this. I got this convert pad thing, right? Check this out.
I remember this.
I was not expecting this.
Only you would have a picture of Smilax on your phone.
Smilax
As much as it
bonus.
likes to imprint itself in
By the
your
way-
skin.
Yes.
Smilex burning off the
Bonanox.
Sorry.
Bonapa.
I know Candy English. Anyway, Smilex Bonanox, for any of y'all who don't know, the leaf is very phallic in nature.
We call that a halberd shape. Yeah, it's shaped like a halberd.
One of the times when I went out with him hiking on a trail to collect some samples for a collection he had to have for one of the courses this past semester, we had stopped at one Smilex plant. I grabbed off one of the bigger, more defined leaves, held it right in front of my pelvis, and he took a picture of it. Because it was funny. Oh gosh,
Yes,
that
I
tree.
can.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
I'm gonna put a picture of a tree. But anyway, check this out. Where are you?
Is it technology?
All the
There it is.
archaic measurements.
Barley corn is a
Basically, this
Chains.
app has a bunch of very
And I can put
unknown
one chain.
measurements that are unknown to the common man, very archaic
I can just
measurement
be like,
systems, such as chains that they use in their forestry
except
program.
in England, where
Except
the
in
road distances are still measured in chains.
Really?
It's chains and links, actually. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did
Okay.
not know this.
A chain is 66 feet long. It's not really a chain. It used to actually be a chain, but it's down just a distance. A chain, a ribbon, a tape, anything that is 66 feet long. Okay.
like my
So,
dick. What? Oh.
I have a chain.
a chain. Anyway.
I have a chain of chains.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
No one watches our podcast.
So to give you a reference of what a chain is and does, is as a unit of measure. You can use this to measure distances with. Nobody uses this. It's
Nobody.
this is why they have GPSs. You don't have to
It's
actually
worse than
move
using.
the thing. But okay, so your reference. 1 mile, 1 linear mile is 80 chains long. Okay, so 80 times 66 gives you what?
80 times 66.
I can't do math in my head.
Math was right. Okay.
I usually do it on paper.
To really be good at this, you must know and memorize what these numbers are, and not necessarily have to add them together all the time. Okay. 80 chains, 1 linear mile, translates into 5,280 feet. I hope I got that number right.
Yeah, I think so.
Which, a square mile is 80 chains. Or 80 chains squared by 80 chains squared, or is that 80 square chains?
We're not going there. We're not going there.
Hey, at least we don't measure distances a hoot and a holler. Which apparently 2 hoots and a holler is about a mile and a half.
Yeah. One of our professors had to do a survey on this. Basically, had to rerun these boundaries, and no lie, this legal description on the boundary said that the line was 2 hoots and a holler, like that was a distance.
And why is that? Why would that system be different than what we use now?
Well, I would imagine it was mentioned that there was a really thick patch of a rhododendron,
Yeah.
and they couldn't get through it, so I would guess they were just using their voice to calculate distance.
And a roundabout, yeah, way.
But evidently 2 hoots and a holler is about a mile and a half.
Of course, you need a system to measure land, measure area, measure distances, so that people can buy and sell it. Well, there's multiple different ways of doing that, and
Everybody likes their own way.
well, it's regional. Different regions have different ways of measuring and reporting land. It has a lot to do with the area's history. Let's take New England, for example. Their system is the meets and bounds system, which this thicket was in Virginia, which is probably Western Virginia, because that would sound close to West Virginia, because it's where the mountains. The meets and bounds system operates by, say you have 10 chains to the big oak tree. Then turn right to a bearing of 90 degrees, a bearing, not an azimuth. Take a bearing of 90 degrees and go to the big rock outcropping. And you keep doing this. That is the legal description for the land.
Well, that big oak tree may not be there anymore.
Yes, a lot of these were done 200-300 years ago. So here in the South, they came up with a better system of laying it out in nice, even squares, which honestly doesn't do a whole lot for the landscape, but that's really good. So this system, and I know you've heard of it. If you've ever heard of 40 acres and a mule, well, that's exactly it. That's exactly what they're talking about, because 40 acres is 1/4 of a 1/4 of a single section, which single section is 1 square mile, 80 chains by 80 chains. And that is the legal description of land here in the South.
Yeah, you just take quarters or halves of certain. You just take a square and you make more squares, and then you make more squares.
So
Sometimes you make a rectangle.
Oh dear Lord, a rectangle? We can't have that. It has to be squares.
Squares are rectangles.
Has to be squares.
the correct squares? Correct square of some linear regression.
Yay!
All
Non-linear
the
regression.
cool kids are doing it.
Non-linear regression. Transformations.
Yeah, I'm gonna transform my dad into
Natural log.
something else. Natural log. Okay. What is a log? Well, I know what a log is, and that's what I'm out there trying to find. A natural log. Are you telling me there are unnatural logs in this world?
This log, this was man-made.
And then we get to the computer, and you're like, there's logs in the computer too?
Logs. Captain's log. That log I dropped off. Oh, it was a nice piece of wood. Nice big piece of dogwood. Oh, I tried to fix that.
You're strange.
You're strange.
No, I'm
You were both
I am
strange.
completely normal.
I still have a lot of work to do on it. Like, I need to fix the jaw and the muzzle. I think I need to bring the muzzle down a little bit more. I need to fix the jaw. Add ears eventually. Off topic. Go on.
Anyway, we're complaining. We were complaining. Anyway, finish my story about the. Well, now that we got way off on a tangent. Anyway, back when I was telling you about the storm that was coming in. This storm came in, right?
About a mile ago.
Thunder rolls.
Hey,
Wow.
Yeah.
That tangent went
Yeah.
what's about
That's
half
what
an
we
hour.
call Bulldog Banter. Do we banter? Shh. Anyway, this storm comes through, and of course, it starts raining. We're like, okay, well, if it gets bad, we'll stop. It got bad.
But it has to get bad. I mean, real bad. I'm talking about life-threatening.
Well, it was. We had limbs falling off of the trees around us. My professor.
How did the people get up there? That was a bad joke.
Okay. Anyway.
People. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, there were like branches and such falling around us. We had a supercell, like literally, come over us.
Thank you, Mississippi weather this winter.
And it was like bright out, the beginning of the day.
Oh, tangent. You understand anything about thermals and cloud formation and meteorology?
Yes, actually I do.
Alright.
Anyway, so
Test that.
we have crap falling on us, right? And the professor's words are, "That's what you have hard hats for."
Hey,
As
that's
I said,
legit.
if you think you have hard classes, these guys have to wear hard hats to class.
Oh, but here's the thing. I've spent my entire life in the woods, walking around in the woods. No problem. Hardly never had any trouble out of a tree. Okay, except for that pecan that tried to kill me. That was in my front yard, not out in the woods. I mean, yeah, you hear trees crashing down all the time around you, and it does make a sound. I guess that's only because there's somebody there. That's what requires its own podcast.
I do have to say that.
If a tree falls in the woods.
And yeah, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Comment. Please do. This is on YouTube. Go
Honestly,
ahead and comment.
I don't think I've had, despite how many times I've been in the woods before, I haven't had as many ticks on me before as I had today.
It depends on
It
your
wasn't
definition
a lot of
sound.
ticks either. It was just,
My mission
Yeah.
is complete.
Yes. Hey, look what I found.
another one.
Hey,
Show the
another
camera,
one.
show the
You
camera.
You can't even see it. It's the tiny little seed tick. Let's see.
It's another one.
You can't even probably see it, but it's crawling on my finger. It's going to die.
Which means,
It's a filthy little bloodsucker. It deserves to die.
you think your classes are hard?
You don't have things out trying to kill you.
Paper Yeah. Paper cuts are nothing. What, I think I've estimated about, 45 minutes to get to the hospital from where you're at, if you get a snake bite. And there's a lot of snakes out there. We've seen quite a few. Weren't you with that crew that actually picked up that snake?
No, I wasn't with that.
No.
I wasn't with that crew, and I think they got yelled at for that.
Yeah, I would say so.
They picked up a freaking pygmy rattlesnake.
And took a picture. Okay, that's pretty badass. The guy who did it, badass. Anyway,
But safety issue, and
it's, for one, it's actually illegal to harass wildlife. That's like not hunting and fishing because that's illegal, animal rights and all that. But this is a class you are under the university's care, which means if you get injured and you die, it is on the university. So
Even though it's your stupidity.
yeah. Okay, it's a wild animal. It's in the
it's
woods.
venomous.
Chilling, doing its thing, eating bugs, which we're talking about a dusky pygmy rattlesnake.
These things don't go
Look
to your
it up.
house and bother you.
I
Leave
showed
them
you a picture,
alone.
but yes, don't kill a snake. If you see a snake,
If you see a snake, just let it be.
Yeah,
It'll go away.
seriously, snakes
You'll probably
are-
never see it again.
well, this snake I sat down within a couple feet of them.
Yes, there are snakes that bite people, but they don't bite people because they're out to hurt you. They bite people because they feel threatened and they're trying to do self-defense.
And they
And
also
even then-
they bite people who do stupid shit like
To debate,
catch it.
I will argue against Champagne's comment of not biting to hurt you. It's not supposed to tickle. It's designed to hurt. It's designed
Oh, yeah,
to
I'm not-
kill
I'm not
you.
saying
it's
they're-
designed to poison
No,
you and go,
no.
oh my god.
No, I'm not saying that their bite isn't supposed to hurt. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're not out after you, is what I mean. They're not out
what,
to
the
get you.
difference between animals and humans and malice and morale and how deep you want to take it.
I don't think snakes, we're not snakes' prey is the thing. Snakes don't eat people.
No, but it's
So
it's-
they're
we're
not
still,
necessarily
we're
out
still
to
threats.
get
We're still threats.
Yes,
We're
yes.
still-
If they find themselves threatened, if they get cornered, yes, they will bite you. I'm not saying they won't bite you.
But most of the time, actually, there was a study done on, I know I've cited this study
Oh, yeah,
before,
you
on the cottonmouth, water moccasin. Guy
Did you
went
use a
out.
proper citation format?
Yeah.
How do you do that on camera? I just worked.
I think I put a link to it in the.
Oh, in my paper I had a citation. Yeah.
I did in-text citation. Anyway, because it was only a website. It was a website for that song.
Anyway, snakes are very beneficial to the environment. Some populations of snakes are getting smaller because stupid people are killing them. Please leave the snakes be.
Oh, do you want to talk about?
You want
Animal
one
population
snake or
dynamics?
10,000 rats, please?
Snakes are very beneficial to us. Please leave them alone if you
I don't want to
can.
have to set up mouse traps. I really don't.
You don't have to set up mass traps. I can catch them by bare hands now.
That's what he does for a living.
Well, unfortunately, that job kind of ended. But yes, for the school, I went out into a field and caught small mammals and basically harassed them, sexed them, and then gave them a nice little earring instead.
Right.
And a free meal. Which always came back to the free meal.
But yeah, there was what were we talking about before that? Oh yeah, snakes. But yeah, this guy was an idiot. He picked up a rattlesnake and just decided.
Oh, and he's a fancy not do it, man. That's pretty badass.
It is badass, but
It's
no
dumb.
Dumb. I mean, there's a border between, there's a line between like awesome and just stupid.
I've yet to find an animal that just came in. Oh, look, a human.
Cheetahs. No.
Leopards.
Do leopards go, oh, look, a human, and just pick you up and look at you?
Yes. That's
Really?
yeah. Leopards will still grab people by the skull and drag them up into trees. That's awesome.
It's a little different. They don't just pick you up and look at you.
They pick you up and try to eat.
That's different. I said
Anyway, yeah.
snakes don't make meals out of people. That doesn't mean other animals won't try to.
Except maybe in Florida.
Yeah. It's
Awesome.
just children.
22-foot anaconda.
Australia, where everything is out
Burmese
to
python.
eat you.
Was it the anaconda or Burmese python?
The Burmese pythons are the ones that
The video?
now.
Oh god.
The movie.
The video of the giant freaking snake eating the alligator. What's that one?
Wait, what?
Discovery something? Yes!
I have not seen this. I've not heard of that.
It's on
That's
YouTube.
Okay, you know that picture? You know that picture of the guy holding like the massive rattlesnake on the stick like this?
Yeah, it's probably right.
It is. Have you ever tried to hold something as heavy as that rattlesnake out on a stick like that? I don't care how buff
Pictures
you are.
are like fishing stories. The more it is on the internet, the bigger it gets.
And no, because like, okay, even I don't care how buff you are, you could not hold a rattlesnake that size out like this. Even at the end of your arm, let alone at the end of a snake stick.
Have you tried holding a book on your hand like this?
I don't even have to go that far into explaining the
Physics?
physics and kinetics of it. A rattlesnake's not going to get that big. Period.
I've seen some pretty big
I've
ass
seen some big ass rattlesnakes, but not that big. There are size limits.
I actually have not seen the picture y'all are referring to, so
I'll have to show you. I'll link it. I'll find it and link it, or I'll put it in the video or something.
Anyway, so if you're going to the woods and you see a snake, one, do not freak out. You freak out,
The snake's gonna freak out.
probably gonna bite you. Don't take a stick. Oh. Unless you're
She's angry.
professional.
Or you have experience with snakes like I do.
Let's try this
I'm
out.
a professional in this, but I'm still not gonna mess with a snake in the woods. If it's in the woods, I'm just gonna leave it alone. If it's in somebody's yard, yeah, I might consider picking it up if I can.
And
Which, I mean, get a snake stick. Get some
Dream
dreaming
of
about
bucket.
that. Yeah, well, a snake stick and a Tupperware thing like that, you should be alright. You should be able to put it in there. You can call animal control.
Animal
They'll
control
come.
will kill it.
No noise.
Yeah, they will. Anywhere in Mississippi, they will.
I'll have to check on that.
Unless it's in endangered species. They'll kill it.
Really?
If it is, they probably will too.
There's only
That's
one
BS.
species of endangered species. Only one species of snake in Mississippi that is endangered species. And I can't think of it. It's a black snake. It's a black
No,
black pine snake.
It's so endangered, it's dead in your memories.
It's also called a Eastern indigo snake. Yeah, Eastern indigo snake is severely endangered.
Look it up. I don't know. It has something
Look
to
up
do
what?
with longleaf pine savanna ecosystems.
They do.
Wait, what do
They
you
live
mean
in the
to look
burrows of gopher tortoises.
Gopher tortoises. Yeah, we got a lot of gopher tortoises.
What do you need me to look up?
Eastern indigo snake.
And
It's common
Really?
names. Common names. You know how many freaking snakes in Mississippi are called chicken snakes?
ever seen an Alabama white snake? I got one. I want to see it.
Oh dear lord.
And then there's, or chickweed. God, how many things are called chickweed?
Wikipedia.
Only one I know
Come on.
of. Oh, I should
6 or 7 different. We were in taxonomy and spermatophytes. We saw 6 or 7 different things that have a common name. Chickweed.
Henbit. Lamia. Okay.
Here's the Wikipedia
Scratch
article
that.
if you want it.
Eastern indigo snake.
I'm not quite sure the format of the mobile wiki, so
What kind of snake is this?
use
It's
it.
a. Sorry. I'll tell you what. I'm going to try and butcher its scientific name for your.
You should
say
sit
fur.
down before, because you can't. They
Oh.
can't see you now.
Yeah.
No, they can only see half of you.
So, well, actually, I'm going to show them a picture of the snake.
Okay.
If you haven't noticed, this is my first one. Whoop. Okay. Technology. Can you see it?
Whoa,
Zoom. What's your distance that you can see it at?
A little bit closer. There you go. You should be able to get it there. Now it's just auto focusing.
Okay.
Dear lord, my eyes.
I'll put a picture of it. It's pretty cool.
Most common snake that I've encountered here in Mississippi is the copperhead, which luckily do not get very big and aren't very mean. Well, so that brings me to this whole thing about not killing snakes in the wood.
Drymarchin cooperi.
I didn't even see it. Okay.
Guess what I'm gonna go with.
Because SQUIRREL.
1842.
Alright.
Oh yeah, if you want a job where you can go, look, a squirrel, and it be completely normal, they've got the perfect job for
Forestry
that.
and wildlife. Okay. Back to the squirrels thing. We got to work on these tangents. Squirrels.
Are we on a tangent from a tangent?
A tangent.
Yes.
A tangent
How
from
many
a tangent?
tangents does it take to make a irregular polygon? 5? No, it'd have to be more.
Anyway, just continue on the squirrel.
I got it. A musk squirrel, a snake. Generally, when I found a snake in the woods, and I told my buddies about it, they'd be, well, did you kill it? No. Why would I need to kill it? It was just sitting there chilling. It didn't
Just sitting there doing its thing.
It was just sitting there doing its thing. So why is that? Why is that? Every time you say something like, hey, I saw a snake, the automatic response is, well, did you kill it? that apparently is ingrained into not maybe human psyche, but maybe it's cultural.
It is here too. Oh my God! It's a snake. It's
Snakes
a
are cool.
devil.
I like snakes. Snakes are really cool. He's wanting to get a
We
snake.
can get on a religious tangent all day long, and I'm not going to do that.
How many tangents do we
On
want?
snakes?
All of the tangents.
Religious thing on snakes? Oh boy. Well,
Every snake is the devil. The Bible says so.
don't
No,
be
it doesn't.
don't be a liar. Don't be a Oh my gosh, y'all! I just totally lost my train of thought.
Ha!
Anyway, I'm gonna step outside the
Sure.
smoke.
Okay.
And let y'all get back to it.
Let's see. What else do we do? Anyway, basically, we're out there measuring trees. That's my job. And I don't even get paid for it, and I'm out there in the heat, crap, all day long. Then we come back to a computer lab and work up day and a half, 2 days, 3 days worth of calculations. You just sit in the computer lab from 8 to 7, 8 at night, and then you come back, and maybe by 9 o'clock you have food, maybe, and then you go to bed sometime around 10, and then you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, or 6:30 in the morning, and then you go do it again.
7:30 and back to usual. Of course, all that is the usual, so I mean back to usual.
And you just keep repeating that process over and over. That's
Rather rinse repeat.
It's the summer field program. Just let you know if you're going into forestry, and the only reason you're going into forestry is I like to be in the woods, or
Not good enough.
Not good enough. Trust me. If you think it's gonna be a piece of cake, walk in the park, you're gonna have a rude awakening, and it's gonna come around your first semester of your sophomore year, and it's called dendrology. And then you're gonna have another rude awakening, and it's called forest measurements. And then you're gonna have the rudest awakening of them all,
Summer crowd.
summer camp. Okay, my professor keeps telling us, I don't want to hear any more stories about how summer camp is so hard. It's like boot camp. It's hell.
But
I'm here to tell you, it is all of those things
and more.
and more. I had a guy on my crew. We get randomly assigned crews for these things, and I got randomly assigned this guy, and he had been in the military before, and he went through boot camp, and he said, I would rather go through boot camp again.
Dang. Once again, if you think your classes are bad,
If you think your classes are bad, come
If
take,
you have a
take a
soldier-
stroll with me. We had
he's got a class where the soldier's saying, I would rather go through boot camp again.
Yeah. We had a stand. A stand is just a contiguous unit of forest vegetation. I had a stand that was called the Devil's Horns. We nicknamed it the Devil's Crotch because it sort of looked like, if you turn it upside down, it looked like legs, and like the middle of it was so thick, it was like the devil's pubic hair.
And just as spiny too.
And just as spiny. It was literally 12-foot tall walls. Not walls, just like, not even just like walls like
Masses.
this, but like walls,
Masses.
of briars. Woo! Smilax bonanox, which is the most spiky plant on the face of the fucking planet.
And the most phallic.
The only plant that I know of that I would not want to walk through even more than Smilax is maybe
Devil sticks.
no, not even Devil's Walking Stick. Trifoliate orange. Trifoliate orange.
What's that again? Is
My
that
death stick. Here's my
I
death
was about
stick.
to say, is that same stuff we saw with JJ with the root?
Yeah, I've shown you guys this
I wish
before.
these things have spines this long.
That is trifoliate orange.
A
That's the length of the spines. Do you like hold my death stick?
Yeah. Would you like to buy a death stick? No, you want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life.
Gets home and goes, damn.
I really should have bought that death pick.
What was I doing? Don't smoke. It's a bad habit. I know. Pot calling black. So this thing, yeah. Imagine barreling down a hill for whatever reason and coming into a thicket of it.
You trip and start rolling down the hill.
Do you like pulling thorns out of your skin?
Oh no, don't throw me in the briar patch!
No, this is like, okay, Smilex is bad, but at least with this, you can pull this out pretty easily, and it's just pulling out a thorn. Briars, they have these like micro hairs on their thorns, and they're like, they stick in you when you pull them out. They're still in you because these little hairs are.
You know what they're called?
Like, they're painful.
When a plant
Painful?
has hair-like structures, it's called a trichome.
Yeah, guess what? It's painful.
I'll have to show you.
I call it pain!
I call
I've
it
seen try. I know what
a
it is.
defense mechanism for stupid people brushing up against it.
It's not
I
like
like-
it's intentional.
It's not. Is it? By pure chance this plant just happened to evolve this? Yes. Wow, we're going to have to do a podcast about evolution. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Right after religion.
Or we can do religion and science all up in one.
Good.
That would actually be a good one.
It would be.
So,
And we can disprove all those myths that you cannot believe in science and religion.
our science and philosophy.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Once you start getting into quantum mechanics, quantum physics, which is practically the edge of reality, things start getting weird.
I don't know. You get pretty weird this is. I heard.
Okay, we're furries.
Yeah, mention that. So how does that have to do with life and death? Oh.
You know you're weird when you're weird when furries think you're weird.
I was like, have you ever been to furry community society?
When I die and go to heaven, I'm gonna be a wolf. No.
That would be all fine and great until you run into the woods one day and some idiot decides to shoot you because
You're a wolf.
he thinks you just ate a sheep. But when actually you did, it was that damn dog who got out of the house the other day and you're getting blamed for it.
Yeah.
That's
Most of the farm animal fatalities are from domesticated, escaped dogs.
I bet you I can find stats on that somewhere.
There are.
Ah,
It's been studied.
yeah. You know what I want to study?
Speaking of studies, what was the size of the fund that was in Canada for some researcher to study furries?
Oh yeah. There was a government grant for $75,000 given out in Canada
To research furries.
to research furries.
Yeah, it's a psychological and
Government grant to research furries. I just thought that was funny.
psychology. I mean, yeah, there's something to it. I mean, why are people gravitated toward this? That's so. But my theory on
Yeah,
that.
put this back on again on that note.
If you run statistics on this, and you can, I've got surveys out there. Statistics do exist. So, what I think is, given the size of the population, pretty much anywhere, take that what the human population is like a state or the country as an infinite population because the exact number changes. So you can't have a set sample size. You can, and that's what they have in these surveys. But compared to the stats of the what we call the normal population or non-furry, I pretty much think that furries are no weirder than the average person. Think about that.
Yeah.
But,
A little weird.
well, yeah, and you know what makes people even weirder? The internet.
Woo! Yay, internet!
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Especially with a camera.
Oh dear lord. Here, hold my beer. Watch this.
Hey, I'm gonna do
I
something
know
really
somebody who
stupid.
died after saying that.
But
Saying
yeah,
that.
I'm gonna do something either A, stupid, B, illegal, C, immoral by at least somebody's standards.
Somebody.
Take video of it, or take a picture of it, and put it on the internet. So if you haven't seen recently, there was that picture or video of the guy in Wendy's eating the Frosty out of the machine. Well, I worked at Wendy's. That's all I'm going to say about when I worked at Wendy's. But, yes, that happens. One, free Frosty. Who doesn't like that? It may be late at night. There may have been nobody in the store. Why take a picture of it? Seriously, if that could be something that gets you in trouble,
Why would you take a picture?
People are stupid. That's why.
it's like the chick who robbed a bank and then
Post it on Facebook with her cash. Yeah.
I visited her MySpace page.
Like, why would you do that? You're gonna go on. I know. Not only did she post a picture, she was bragging about how she robbed this bank and had the picture of the money to prove it. You know, cops were on her door the next morning.
And I'm going ahead and say this.
That's kind of skanky. And stupid.
If you're gonna do something illegal, go post it online.
I'm gonna find a phone number.
Don't be stupid.
Okay, just don't do anything illegal.
Joking.
Don't do anything illegal. How about that?
Well, recently, when in class, somebody asked, well, why do something illegal? My response, because it's fun.
It's only legal if you get caught.
Yeah.
What's the difference between against the law and illegal?
Really, it has to be something like
Do you want me to say?
that. Yes.
An illegal is a sick bird.
And illegal?
An illegal is
Illegal! Ah! Oh!
That was painful.
We should make.
Kind of like that. What was that pun that was made earlier? That
If I had my other phone, I would go back and.
Oh, speaking of phones.
I have a new phone. I got it from Walmart. It's a Samsung Galaxy Centura, something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, I know.
The phone was $100, no contract, $45 a month, unlimited texting, calling, and data.
We should have
So,
context.
We got a bigger phone.
Yeah.
Well, I
Finally.
should I go and get my awesome phone? That's okay. I don't know where it's at.
He has an indestructible phone.
Seriously, we should have a contest and take Champagne's phone and my phone and throw them in the toilet.
No,
and then make a phone call.
I just got this, thank you. I don't want to kill it.
My phone, I can fish it out the toilet, rinse it off, and still make a phone call. That's about all it can do. It's a dumb phone.
But it can withstand anything, really.
And
Just
it has
step on
an AM FM radio. Can't do anything else.
It's heavy. It's indestructible. It's like a Nokia.
It's bright. But it's brightly colored.
It's a Nokia.
If you want to know what kind of phone I have, it's a Sony Armor 4300 from C-Spire. Check it out and get one. You'll thank yourself later when you lose your phone after being attacked in the face 5 times by hornets.
Oh, fun.
Oh my god, I'll tell that story. Okay.
Yes, go for it. Go for it.
There I
want to hear this
was.
story.
There I was. Out in the woods. Up to my neck. No. Over my head in grapevines, muscadine, and briars, smilax. Okay. I'm 5'9". This crap was at least 2 feet over my head. You couldn't see 2 feet in front of you. So here I am, cruising through the woods, 100 acres in the Tom Bigby National Forest. So I'm going to a tree. I take this tree, I start walking back, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 right in the face. And panic sets in. And I think, what the hell? So I start yelling out, and I yelled like a little girl. I will admit it, what the hell will you have done too? So, I'm looking around, and I see this black thing. Zoom, zoom. That's how I know it was a hornet. A black, no, it wasn't. The bald face hornet. You know the ones that make the big nest up in the trees? That you would think would be a nightmare if you were attacked by it? Yes, it is a nightmare. So there I was, getting attacked by hornets, and what can you do? What are you going to do? Outrun them? There's no way to run. There's crap everywhere. The only thing I could do was to fall down, crawl under the brush, and play dead. My teammates, on the other hand, were off that distance going, "Don't bring them over here!"
Gee, thanks, guys.
Gee, yeah.
Thanks for the advice.
Which I don't blame them. I mean, what the hell are they gonna do? Go, hey, Hornet, stop messing with my buddy. I need him.
That wasn't on your final stand, though.
No, that was not my final project.
Good.
That was the point cruise, which is one of the three methods that we talked about. You have a strip cruise, which you just take a strip through the woods, counting every tree in the strip. Plot cruise, we go out, you pick a point in the woods, and you do a plot, which is a radius around a certain point. You count all the trees in that point. A point cruise is where you have a little piece of glass called a prism, and you hold it, and it magically tells you what trees are in or out of your plot. So yeah, that was the point cruise. In the Tombigbee National Forest, what I like to call is the Pecker Woods. Why do I call it the Pecker Woods? Well, it's easy.
There's no penis.
No, but there's pinus.
Yeah, there is penis.
So these Pecker Woods are mostly pinus. Pinus taida or Pinus palustrius. Pinus palustrius is the longleaf pine, which is a very good piece of wood. Fire tolerant. So these Pecker Woods. Why do I call it a Pecker Wood? You find out that changes. Why would I call it a Pecker Wood?
Red-cockaded
Why
woodpeckers.
Yeah, because woodpeckers live in these woods. If it's a piece of woods where the woodpeckers live, it's a Pecker Wood.
It's also Pinus, so.
Where the
Makes sense.
red-cockaded woodpecker lives, which is a endangered species of woodpecker, the only woodpecker that makes its nesting cavities within living trees. All your other woodpecker species make nest in dead trees. Since we like getting off on tangents, I'll get onto a tangent about dead trees. Dead trees are very important in the forest matrix. You would think that a dead tree wouldn't have any purpose. If it was doomed, it's going to stand there and fall. Well, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. A dead tree is probably the most valuable piece of real estate in the forest. As soon as the tree dies, even before it hits the ground, it starts to attract things to decay it. And so that's how you get nutrients back into the forest system. And how did we
Why
get...
they're going towards trimming and all that stuff in the woods so that at least some of that nutrients gets back.
Honestly, I don't think I want to go pruning the whole damn place. Not really.
Well, when they take trees out, they leave like all the crap.
Oh, that's thinning.
Yeah.
Thinning is different than pruning.
Well, I meant like when they pull out a tree, like the branches and crap they cut off, they leave it there. Instead of taking the entire thing and like disposing of it elsewhere, they leave it in the woods now because it'll
It's
decay.
beneficial.
And that big pile of crap that's left behind, what do you call that?
Big pile of crap that I leave behind.
A pile of sticks.
Slash. Slash. As in, slash. Lock on. Oh yeah, speaking of snakes, slash.
Yes, good places for snakes to hide.
Oh dear.
As well as what we were walking through today.
I would like to debunk that. I've never seen a snake in a pile of sticks, a pile of brush. Yes, never have.
Plenty of them.
Never have.
Well, that's because they hide. They hide very well in a pile of sticks.
If I haven't seen it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because it's not my observable reality. You know?
Yes.
That's for the What is
Philosophy.
Real podcast.
That's a good one.
I have observed it.
Since we're on this,
We have this guy. See, you guys never send us any good topics to cover.
Seriously, come on.
We got this guy. You guys
Topics?
replaced.
oh, you want to talk about topics? Anything you want to talk about? Seriously, you want to hit us up with random thoughts? Go ahead.
Send us your shit. We want it.
No, don't.
No, actually, hold on. I take that back.
He might.
Yes, I have a vegetable garden, and I would love to have a lovely pile of shit. Because for one thing, it's free. Free energy. Yes. You can get free energy from a pile of dung. I'm not talking about burning it. I'm not talking about getting the methane from it. I'm talking about taking your pile of shit, leaving it in one spot, and not doing anything with it. It's working. It's making energy. It's making food grow. It's that whole
And then he's gonna
green
take that
revolution.
food and he's gonna eat it. So indirectly, he's eating your shit.
Well, I mean, that's what we do all the
Yes.
time anyway.
Well, think about it. All the
just
water
food
you
tastes
drink
like
at
crap.
one point in time, all the water you drink was dinosaur piss. Think about that one. You're drinking dinosaur piss right now. How does that make you feel?
Just to make you feel any better, every time you go to the public pool, it's about the same thing.
No, that's worse.
At least
That's more
before we
direct
did it.
piss. It's not filtered piss. That's
Ah!
direct piss.
Wow, since we're talking about piss. Sure.
This is how these
He's the
podcasts
piss
go.
host.
Being associated with forestry and wildlife, I've had the opportunity to work with some animals, the small rodent thing. Animals are naturally smelling, including people. Bad odors, good odors. It's all there. Within each individual odor, unless you are a collection of scents that an animal produces, you can get a lot of information from them. Yes, that's gross, but that's how the world operates.
That's
Let's just say-
wildlife biologists. This is what wildlife biologists get off on.
I can walk into a building and typically, sometimes, within a few minutes go, there's a rat. That smells. That's not a wild rat. That's house rat.
He knows his wood. He knows his piss.
You
He knows wood too.
You can tell individual species from the smell of one's piss. So this job that I was doing, going out, snatching up, to be specific, cotton rats and deer mice. Yes, cute little deer mice. Yeah, they are cute. They'll also bite the crap out of you.
Yes.
And then you're playing. I swear, no mice or rats were hurt in this project. Intentionally.
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 It's in the middle. It was in the middle of the winter. Sorry that I shouldn't say anything like that. That makes me feel bad. I'm not an animal killer, please. Well, no.
I don't know. I enjoy hunting, so.
Well, here's the thing. I wasn't going to eat them, so I felt bad.
Oh, that's different though.
I didn't do it. The weather got to me. Yeah. But hell, you should have seen the amount of hawks that were flying over. Every time we took one out of trap and let it go, we're like, come on, buddy, come on. There. So, okay. So, yes, I got paid to have wild animal, cat, and golden showers. put it as disgustingly blank as you can. Ah, that shut y'all up.
Oh no, some of the furries out there might be interested in that kind of stuff.
Become a wildlife biologist. Go into wildlife management. or
I'm
something like
seriously
that.
surprised that there aren't as many furries in the forestry and wildlife departments as, you know. Yeah. I know there's 3, but I'm surprised there's not more.
Oh, there always.
There probably is. What are the guys that's on DA? I forget his name.
In CFR.
Yeah, he's on DeviantArt. He's an artist.
Who is?
He does these really complex, really detailed concept drawings. They're really cool. I'll have to show you.
A furry in CFR.
He's not a furry. Just an artist.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't even know his name. I'll have to look him up. I have him on my EA.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it really art?
That's not
there.
there.
Oh, yeah, come on. We have to do
No
that
deep
one
and
for later.
flowing. Okay, we'll do the difference between, I guess, what is art or whatever. Or
Okay.
we'll do deep and flowing next time.
Deep and
Deep?
flowing.
Oh, deep and flowing?
Deep and wide, deep and wide.
Oh, wow. We'll have to talk about the physics
What's those?
and nature of water movement across a surface, giving your different soil textures and blah, blah, blah.
No, what's that? There's a
Science
place. There's a place that has the thing. Okay, you could literally hop across it, but it's like it's this stream. It just looks like a
Oh, in
stream.
Germany? In the woods of Germany?
Yeah, is that the one that will suck you under and you'll never come out?
Yeah, I think that is. It's like really deep and complex underground, but on the surface it's just like...
It's just like looks like this little stream,
Yeah.
but if you go in it, like it will kill you.
I think
because
that's
you'll
in
never come back
Germany.
up.
I think that's in Germany.
A sinkhole.
It's not.
It's not a single.
really
It's like a stream. It's like a
river.
river that's mostly underground, but it's got a little bit on top. It looks like a stream.
But it's like a full-blown river
Complex underground.
And it's got like caves and
Yep.
caverns and crap. And it will actually, there's so much water down there that if you get in it, it will
Basically,
suck
it
you
sucks you
under
down.
and you'll never come back up.
Are you saying the mass of the water is like 600?
Movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't look like it's going so slow.
It's a sinkhole.
But yeah, it's like
It's a sinkhole.
it's like
I don't know
a
if
river
it's-
underground, but it's like a stream on
Yeah,
top.
it's a sinkhole.
Yeah.
It's a sinkhole. All right,
But they-
you can have a river that goes in the ground, and part of it may be exposed above ground, and part of it may not be exposed above ground. Sinkholes. What I'm talking about is what in geology is called karst topography, which is basically limestone. Now the science lesson here is limestone dissolves when you put water on it. That's how it's formed.
Yeah. This thing, I think it's in Germany, and people literally die all the time because they have like signs around it because it doesn't look intimidating. It looks like little, like you
Try
can
to hop
over.
over it.
People will try to
You
hop over
fail.
it. If you fail, you die.
That's typically how it's done.
I mean, it's this little tiny creek, like, you know, we
That's
cross
not
all the
at least
time.
a-
I
it's
hop
less than
over
they
them
have
all.
that.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up, but it's like, yeah, I mean, it's
It's
dangerous.
in Germany.
I think so.
God, I miss the woods of Germany.
But it's, I mean, nature does all kinds of crazy shit to try to kill you.
Especially in Australia.
Australia, everything in Australia wants to kill you.
That's why in Texas. Texas and Australia are like
Same size?
No.
No. Kidding.
They're
Australia is bigger than Texas.
ain't nothing bigger than Texas.
You mean Alaska? You mean half of Alaska?
That
Alaska's
depends
one
on what map you're
place.
looking at. Sometimes Alaska's like the size of the United
Okay,
States.
the actual area of Alaska is
Isn't
more
it
than
about one-third the
twice.
size of the U.S., or is it just the continental U.S. and Canada?
Most anywhere nature is, it's gonna try and kill you. It's gonna try and eat you.
She's angry!
Because that's what nature does.
I mean, we have to have some sort of retaliation against people. I mean, we try to kill everything else, so.
This is true. Think of us as an infecting agent, and everything in nature is the white blood cells.
Let's not get all Matrix going.
Sure. I was exaggerating a little there.
People are viruses.
So people are
What was that
viruses
theme
and
song
so
of Whale Wars? The world is a vampire.
dun. World is a vampire. Dun.
Yeah.
I have
Smashing
no idea.
Pumpkins?
Yeah, hello.
What did you call it?
I've never heard that. So
Oh my god, you never heard Smashing Pumpkins?
I'm not sure if I've heard any Smashing Pumpkin songs before or not, but I did not recognize that song.
Anyway, we'll acquaint you.
Okay.
Oh, I've got fond memories. Smashing Pumpkins.
Do you know?
Oh god, it's so tiny.
Anyway, yeah, so like, we really could just like take a trip over to you guys. This guy lives like right next door, so
It's like right over there.
yeah, something like that.
Who got them gray spots live? I did. Okay,
Your
I'll
wife
take my
got
ego and I'll
some-
sit back down.
Like, I think it was more Amber than
Yeah, she was the one who came up
I
to us
just have to go,
technically.
hey, y'all looking for a place to live?
Because it was one of the times where we went out walking in the woods, and whenever
yeah.
they
She was like,
sang,
"Hey, let's call the landlord." I was like,
yeah, because we were standing in the parking lot.
it was really kind of cool because technically by her terms we're not old enough to rent
technically.
by what she normally does, but because we know you guys, we were there. She was like, "I don't care."
There's age. There's age level.
I'm gonna play distorted
Really?
bass for no reason while y'all are talking.
Okay, well hold on. Actually, I got something I want to cover.
Yes.
And before you play bass, okay. One of the things about being in the summer camp this course is designed to make you consider really if you want to be a Forester or not. Because it takes a pretty hardcore, dedicated person to go out and do what we do and still be alive at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Not that bad, but it seems like it. So in summer camp, one of the things that everybody goes through, at least once, maybe twice, is sitting there thinking, what the hell did I get myself into? Why the hell do I want to be a Forester? Have you had that existential moment yet?
Yeah, a few times, and my only answer every single time is, I can't see myself
Doing anything else.
else.
You either can do it, or you're just lazy and want to sit on the couch.
Or you want to walk through the woods and go hunt, which is not the way you want to get into it.
No, it's not about fishing and hunting and being in the woods. Oh wait, it is, but we'll just add some math to it.
Yeah,
A whole lot of math.
a whole lot.
So, that existential moment. Have I had one of those this year? No, because I've done it before. The existential moment, yes. Summer camp, yes, I did it. This is my second time. Why? Was not as successful the first time. Let's just put it that way. The thing about that is, it is designed to make you think and wonder, what the hell am I doing here? But what you should get out of it is not asking yourself, what the hell am I doing here? But ask yourself, how do I fit into forestry? What do I want to do with it? How can I make it my own? That is the main takeaway from summer camp. It's so you can, one, get out there and do it. Two, don't bitch and complain. Yes, it's hot. Yes, it's nasty.
Everybody else is out there.
But everybody else is out there, and you have a job to do.
Let's do it.
So, suck it up, Cupcake. Oh, I'm sorry. You're sitting right there. Actually, he did, and he was great. We took him out today, pushed him through some briars and muscadines, and is fantastic. Because I judge a person solely by their ability to walk through the woods and not be a little bitch about it.
I grew up in the woods. Why would I be? I mean, seriously, I grew up helping track deer.
He could be
so-
my bitch in the woods. No.
We should take him cruising with us and make him our bitch. Hey, you, go do this.
Go measure.
Go
the
measure
tree.
that tree.
Oh wait, we have to teach him how to use a logger's tape.
You'd have to teach me a lot.
You could probably pick it
We
up.
already have one of
Yeah, I'm
those.
sure I could. I just
Yeah, we
haven't
do.
done any of this before.
We have one of those.
Yeah. Hey, he's going to do great. He is going to do great.
We're gonna make him do great.
We have to. If he is to be of any use to us. God, that sounded terrible. No, we have a great crew. We have, for final project, 3 people are going to be on our crew, which is good. Because 4 people, not so good. You try writing one report with 3 different heads, and all those heads are going, it's not done that way. Let's do it this way. And yeah,
See, that's what we have with our crew. Field stuff, I'm sure he's pretty good at, he's decent at field stuff. You've got the field stuff, I mean, I know you got a good eye for trees.
because I can see a good piece of wood.
But you want to talk about in the computer lab, in Excel, in math?
Yeah,
I can do math.
I can find the huge pinus. He can talk about the huge pinus.
You can find and measure the huge pinus, and I can talk all about it. I can talk about where it is, why it's there, why it's so huge.
He likes big pinus.
I really do. I like talking about big pinus. That's very, very nice to talk about.
Well, we should.
Putting your arms around just that big piece of
Okay.
wood.
We're talking about huge pinus, which is a pine tree. Genus Pinus. What would you say a large pinus is? It depends on species.
Well, around here, a large pinus, anything over 26 inches, I would say it's pretty big.
I've seen
It's bigger than
I've
normal.
seen bigger.
we had a 36-inch pinus in a bottom that we measured.
I want to say I've seen a 36-inch pinus, but typically, normally when you see a big tree, it's normally going to be like 32. But they're not as common. Big people love to take big pinus. It's a valuable thing, and especially when it makes a pole. Poles are very good to take. The only thing is, will it fit? Is your sawmill equipped to take a tree like that up to a certain diameter?
No, not around here. They're not.
Yeah, they can't take big pinus.
They're too tight.
Now out west, they can take a big pinus.
We have to ship them, which ends up being more expensive than. You might as well just leave that tree there.
Oh wow, that's gonna be like economics.
Gas is so expensive.
Burn your trees. Anyway, so I guess I'm gonna have to cut out here soon.
Yeah,
So
we are too. But anyway, yeah, this is just sort of us rambling on about summer camp, what we're doing this summer, and why I haven't been active, and why we haven't been recording crap.
Yeah, if y'all been wondering why y'all haven't seen him on Skype or FA or whatnot,
It's because
this
I've
is
been
why.
so busy.
This is why we haven't done any other podcasts this summer.
real life, huh?
Yeah.
Real life stuff.
Real life stuff.
No, why can't I just live online? Be a dragon and like.
You can. Anyway, so I guess actually, hey, that could be like our outro music.
good at music, you could totally make us like an intro and an outro. It'd be really awesome. Because I could totally put it on the ends of the beginning and ends of.
If you get
Sorry, you're too
somebody
busy.
really good at music,
What do you mean? I'm too
it doesn't
busy.
have to be
I already
good.
asked you about it, and you were like, I'll do
doesn't
it
have-
eventually.
It doesn't have to be good.
And I'm
It doesn't
planning,
get there.
I'm planning on writing something to record
It's like-
the distorted bass. Anyway, this
It's
distorted
like
bass.
Wayne's World. Wayne's World. Anyway,
That's not that
Bust out
loud.
my mic.
till next
Yeah,
time.
Sorry about that, people.
Anyway, till next time, we'll be out of here, and I'm gonna turn off the camera so that he doesn't bust out the mic.
And please
I'm
don't hate us
sorry,
for
people,
this
if I
little waste of your
ears.
life.
Yeah,
But
it was-
thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Have a nice night.
Tuning in. What is this, analog?
Yes! 3 channels, the TV goes ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk.